All right, this is a young man I know who unfortunately enlisted in the Navy with high hopes of how wonderful it would be and how great the food would be, and here's a little bit of reality.
Alright, just a moment ago I was telling a good friend here about the quality of food. It says stamped on the food that it's grade F compared to standard public food that's grade A.
Which you said is illegal to sell?
Yes, it is not legal or even humane to sell to public. I mean, it's very low quality food. And it's to the point at which it hurts my stomach to eat anything but that, because my body's gotten adjusted to their food, and now if I go home I can't enjoy a good home cooked meal. Also along the lines of food, the other week I went out
on a boat, on a ship, on a ship?
Yes, on my ship, and while we were out we actually ran out of food. The officers upstairs had to come down to our galley to get food because they ran out, because they didn't have enough.
What do you think that was just incompetence as far as stocking or, you know, logistics, or do you think there might be something more to it than that?
I think it's a combination of both. I think one,
we're
pretty much broke. Well, not pretty much. I mean, we are broke.
Why do you suspect that to be the case?
We have store unloads every week.
Mm-hmm.
And
meaning onto the ship, you mean?
Yes,
The supplies?
food, supplies, just general stores that we
right.
need. And I've realized just the months that I've been there, we get less of the nicer stuff, and it's just
nicer stuff food-wise, you mean, or
yes,
just?
I mean, the ship always has a certain amount of like fruits, nice, healthier stuff,
right.
And it's noticeable that the quality of that is lower, the quantity of it's lower, and it's becoming a pain.
I'm gonna break here for just a moment because I want to get my tripod. All right, so hold on.
Okay.
Okay, now that we have our tripod, we're back, and we have a news story that has to do with possible shortage of money.
Alright. A few weeks ago, a very good friend of mine, I went to school with him, I went through training with him, very close. He got stationed on a ship just across the bay from me. And it's a big ship. Now the ship pulled into port to get maintenance done on their reactors. And the maintenance is getting the old coolant for the reactors swapped out for new coolant.
It's a nuclear ship, it's out?
Yes,
okay.
Nuclear. And during the process of doing this, was when the Navy officially declared that it had no money. So... Oh,
they declared it officially?
Yeah, there was a big paper put out, and we were all told that...
Now, is this a public announcement, or was this just an internal... Oh, so I should be able to Google something.
Yes,
somewhere.
they even posted it in the paper.
Okay.
So. But now, so this announcement was made while the ship was doing its coolant, and the ship actually had to stop, and because it at that point was receiving no funding to even afford the coolant, and from what I've been told, the ship was actually running at a critical state because its reactors were running hotter than normal because they could not even afford the coolant to run it. And this is just one of many cases.
Is it still running that way?
Yeah. No.
Has it been decommissioned? Did they get the coolant? Or?
They got the coolant, but money comes in so slowly. They were scheduled to come back over to my side of the bay about 3 months ago, and that 3 months was them slowly collecting the money just to pay for this.
Wow.
And it's It's the supply is definitely not there for the demand.
Mm.
On my ship, there's many instances. I work in a repair shop on the ship, so any damages, any pipes that might go bad, there's a crack in a bulkhead, anything like that is typically our job to fix. And it's gotten to the point at which some jobs majority of jobs we just can't do because we can't even get a supply of cutting discs in, which, if you know anything about a cutting disc, it's
Pretty basic.
yeah, it's just the supply is not there for what's needed. Many of my other friends scattered about the ships in this port have been, at first I figured, oh, it's just one of them trying to cause drama, but then I started hearing the same thing from many ships, that all these other ships are just being moored to pier, and they pretty much majority of their funding other than basic supplies have been cut.
Have they been complaining about the food also? Or,
Yes.
or noticed a change in food?
Food, toilet paper, tools, I mean, you name it. My berthing alone is the biggest berthing on the ship. It's the engineering berthing. And, I mean, we're constantly in a fight with the other berthings trying to get toilet paper. The most basic thing.
You want
And
to take a
it's-
roll with you when you go?
Yeah.
Have your own private roll?
I mean, that's about how it's gotten. I mean, lots of us buy our own toilet paper and bring it in.
Well,
I even know plenty of people that go out and buy their own tools and bring it in because we don't have any or an adequate supply.
well.
So,
Has pay ever been late or anything like that?
actually, no.
So your pay's on time at least.
Pay is on time. However, they're doing everything they can to cut people out of the military.
Oh. And probably not promote.
Promotions have died down. It is each every half a year they come out with a report stating their percent of people that are going to be promoted. So it's like 28% of HT3s are going to be promoted to HT2s. And it's printed right there. You can go on the internet and print it off that it's been slowly dying down, that they just can't afford to promote somebody.
What about things like medical care or benefits? Like, don't they dangle the carrot of paying for college or something? Are people still getting those benefits?
As far as I know, yes. However, there's a bit of a... They do try to juke you out of it, honestly.
Out of the college?
Yes. If you... I've heard cases where if you don't do a minimum of 6
what?
6 years in the Navy, you have to...
Then
you
they
won't get
pay
it.
Oh. And they told you what going in for?
Yes. And see, that's the thing, is every enlistment is typically an average of 4 years. You can every now and then find a billet for less, but that's where they get you, is you have to do 2 more years, or a year and a half, whatever your contract is, to get to college. And if it's only a 4-year contract, you're going to end up doing 8 years instead of 5.
Right.
So
but at the same time, they're not really wanting to retain people, so they're not...
Exactly.
It's kind of a catch-22 there.
I mean,
What about medical care?
It's a little bit of both. I mean, it's definitely better than what I am put through on a daily basis, but for instance, the injury I got, they were hesitant just to give me x-rays due to cost. They still gave me reasonably good help, medicine, they checked up on me regularly, stuff like that, but every step I had to take to get better, I pretty much had to fight for it. To get x-rays, I had to argue and fight with the officers, which is not a fun day for me, just to get an x-ray to make sure it's not the injury isn't getting worse. And just to get bandages sometimes. I mean, I've gone up there and they don't even have alcohol.
Mm.
So, I mean, it's noticeable everywhere on the ship that there is a shortage of money.
So it's not quite what you anticipated going in.
No, I anticipated the amount of work and pretty much the attitude.
And the discipline and all, right?
Yes, but the fact that we're broke and the fact that it's hard to get anything done because of that, I did not expect.
Right, right.
So, I mean, I know people back when I went to school in Great Lakes that are still stuck there now.
Yeah.
After going on 14 months that haven't been able to leave because the Navy has nowhere to put them because they can't afford to put them anywhere.
Right.
So, and even some of those people are going to get kicked out because they have nowhere to put them, which means they're not going to get their benefits, they're not going to get their school pay. And I mean, I know some people who joined that they didn't care about the money, they just wanted to see the world.
Right.
And they've been stationed in the
a
States.
Hoboken or something, right?
Yeah, they've been stationed up in the north in the States, and they never get to leave.
Oh,
So
boy.
it's
And that wasn't a slam against Hoboken. That being a Jersey girl, that's what came to mind.
fair enough.
Well, can you think of any other high-hitting things you might like to mention, or is that kind of it in a nutshell?
Well, in a nutshell, yeah, it's hard for me to really pinpoint a lot of things because so much happens.
Right.
But
All right. Well, thanks for sharing that with us.
anytime.
We'll talk to you later.
All right.
Take good care, folks.